everyone, if you are watching this video, you're going to take the retake on the quiz for 6C. The lesson was originally posted on April 16th, so if you feel like you need some help, you can go watch it again. There was this video and then a brain pop, okay, and then we had some practice questions. So if you're looking at this graph and you see this is the population in 1993 and in 1994 and so on. Overall, what's happening to our population of sea turtles? Overall, the population is going down, or the number of nests is going down, okay? The nests are the highest on the tallest bar. So in 1996, that's when we had the most. And the lowest is on the shortest bar, which looks like this one, 2002. That's when we, oh wait, no, maybe 2011 is shorter. 2011 is the lowest, and then we don't know why anything's happening because we don't have any more data, okay? So let's see if I did that right. Yep, okay, they're decreasing. 1996 is the high, 2011 is the low. Okay, let's take a look at this one. In the 1990s, elk moved into the beaver habitat. So this graph is showing us elk. Okay, so the elk population is going way up. Starting kind of in the 90s, we get this big swing up. All right, and they're moving into a beaver habitat. The elk eat aspen and willow trees, just like the beaver, so they eat the same thing. The beaver need a river to create their den. That's where their home is. This is the only place in the area with a river in this habitat. What do you think will happen to the beaver when these elk move in? Okay, will the beaver move out of the area and their population declines? Will the beaver stay and fight the elk for food and their population will increase because they will fight off the elk? Will the beaver move out of the area and increase in population because they'll have nowhere to make their den? Or will the beaver stay in the area and decrease in population because they have less to eat? Now, you're probably thinking they don't want to decrease in population, which is true, but they can't always increase, okay? Even though they want to increase and they want to survive, this situation that they're in is not going to allow their population to increase. So the best answer for this is choice D. They have to stay in the area. It's said right here, the beaver need a river to create their den, and this is the only place with a river. If they left, they would die out, and they would not want to leave an area that has a place for them to make a den. So they have to stay, and they have to struggle to survive and try to get enough food, okay? And what's going to happen is their population will decline because the elk are bigger. They're going to eat some of the same food, and the beaver is going to decline. All right, they are not going to stay and fight, okay? Beavers and elk, beavers are tiny, elk are 1,000-pound animals. They're not going to fight them, okay? They might try and scare them away, slapping their tail, but they're not going to fight them, and it wouldn't increase, all right? That doesn't make sense. They're not going to leave and increase because there's nowhere for them to live, and they're not going to leave and decrease when they have no competition. That doesn't make sense, okay? So you got to read the whole question and all the choices. All right, let's try another practice one. This was a practice one from before. So we can see over here that ocean temperatures are increasing. And during that same time, the coral reefs are decreasing. So does the temperature look like it has an effect on this population? And yes, it has an effect on both. They're both declining. Okay, when temperature goes up, their populations are going down. All right, a student heard that water fleas, that's a little teeny tiny, almost microscopic bug, can be an indicator of water pollution. So a student does this experiment. They have 10 water fleas in 4 different beakers. They put 10 in plain water, 10 in water with 5% pollutants, 10 in water with 10% pollutants, and in water with 15% pollutants. After a week, all the water fleas in beaker number 3 with the 10% and beaker number 4 with the 15% were dead. So what does she conclude? Water fleas can live in any type of water? Well, that can't be right because they died. Beaker 3 and 4 were not prepared correctly. Water fleas die after they've been exposed to 10% or more pollutants. The amount of pollution varied drastically from beaker to beaker. Okay, very drastically means there's 5% in one beaker and 100% in another beaker. okay? We were increasing by increments of 5, which is not a drastic change. Now, there is no evidence that beaker 3 and 4 were not prepared correctly. Okay, there's nothing in here that says they did anything different with beaker 3 and 4. So we cannot assume they were prepared incorrectly based on the evidence that we have. So we have to decide that water fleas die after they've been exposed to 10% or more. Now, to make sure that's 100% true, we'd have to have a 20%, a 25%, a 30%, and so on. But from the data that we have available to us, C is the best choice. All right, so you're going to go and you're going to take a re-quiz on this information. So I'm going to remind you, if you want to go back to Thursday, April 16th and go over this lesson or watch this on graphs again, this brain pop, it's going to be similar quiz with 10 questions on graphs, different kinds of graphs. You've got to read the whole question, read all the answers, pick the absolute best choice. Good luck.